Hi, I am Bianca Beck. I am the Middle East Marketing Manager for the Sovereign Group, and today we're diving into what it's really like to do business on the ground in Saudi Arabia, especially as we move towards 2026. I am joined by Mohammad Zreik and Amjad Alamri, who are both part of our Saudi operations and deeply involved in the kingdom's rapidly evolving business landscape, working closely with companies entering and scaling in Saudi Arabia. They see what's shifting, how new policies are being rolled out, and how businesses are navigating opportunities on the ground. We'll explore the current business environment in Saudi Arabia, the sectors that seem to be gaining the most momentum, and the impact of Vision 2030 and how they've driven those reforms. And of course, we'll look a little bit ahead, where the next wave of opportunity might be for the coming years. So let's jump straight into it. Guys, maybe we could start with how we would describe the current business environment in Saudi Arabia at the moment, and what is the sentiment for the companies that are already there and operating on the ground?
Yeah, hi Bianca. Thank you for the introduction. Obviously, business environment in Saudi Arabia right now it's in full dynamic and in full momentum. As you know, the Vision 2030 has created a clear roadmap for diversification in the economy. So companies right now who's operating in Saudi Arabia are feeling more positive, more optimistic about the opportunities. So this is all again, is driven by the government support and the infrastructure that's been developing throughout these past 5 or 6 years. Also, the regulatory reforms with the Vision 2030, which created a friendly environment for investors, and the economy is more predictable right now in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. And from your experience, Mohammed, what are the factors that are really driving or attracting new businesses to Saudi Arabia at the moment?
There are several key drivers. First, we can talk about the Saudi strategic location. Now it's considered as a regional hub and gateway for Middle East and Africa. Also, we can talk about the local market with a huge purchase power in the Saudi market with a huge population. Also, it's more clear for regulations and licensing in the country as well. We can also talk about the mega projects such as NEOM and the Red Sea project, which offer great opportunities and unique opportunities that you can't find elsewhere right now in the whole world, as we say.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of attention on Saudi Arabia at the moment. And definitely what we're hearing in terms of feedback is, the scale. Amjad, I'm actually interested to hear your perspective on when companies are setting up in Saudi Arabia, maybe what they're surprised about or what they're surprised to find about either the setup or the kind of process of operating a business in Saudi.
So many are surprised by the speed of setup. Licensing registration have become much faster thanks to the digital platforms. The ownership flexibility, 100% foreign ownership is now possible in many sectors, and also the clarity, the level of transparency and support from government agencies often exceeds the expectations.
Okay, well, that's really, really positive. And which sectors particularly are driving the strongest momentum, especially under Vision 2030?
Yeah. Tourism and hospitality are booming right now in Saudi Arabia, thanks to the mega projects and the cultural shifting and the government as well. Renewable energy is also gaining momentum. Technology like AI, fintech, and cloud services, logistics, healthcare are also attracting attention. We can also talk about the advanced manufacturing, which also seeing a rapid transformation right now in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, so actually very similar to what I'm hearing across the region. I'd be interested for you to touch on a little bit, maybe who's bringing money into Saudi, who's investing their businesses. Is it coming from kind of cross-regional like UAE, Oman, Qatar, or is it actually more international investors?
So in the regional, we were going to talk about the GCC in general, UAE, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, due to the proximity and cultural alignment. International, we'd say like US, China, European countries like Germany and France, particularly in the energy, tech, and infrastructure.
Okay, and if a business is thinking to move to Saudi, what are maybe some of the considerations or questions they should be asking themselves or that you would ask them to kind of assess if they're ready for the Saudi market?
Yeah, very, very good question, Bianca. This and very important one. First, they need to know the local regulations and the compliance requirements. This is very, very crucial and very critical to understand at an early stage. This will avoid them delays and any legal risk with their entity, because ignoring such requirements will lead to fines and business suspension. So it's very important to consider it before entering the market. Second, they need to adapt their business model as per the Saudi consumer preference. This is also a unique market here in Saudi Arabia. Adjusting your business model will boost your acceptance in the market. Any rigid approach would fail massively to attract the Saudi consumers. Think about long-term commitment. So building a long relationship, this will also lead to trust between your partners, your consumers, your referrals, because short-term focus can damage credibility and growth in the country. And lastly, which is also a very critical point, is the Saudization policy. With the Saudization requirement, also it's very important to comply with the Saudization requirements based on your business activity, and ignoring such quotas would risk also penalties and reputational form, and you will not able to gain any contract with, let's say, with the government or any private sector.
Okay, so you actually mentioned Saudi there, that Saudization, should I say, and that I know forms, part of the reforms that the kingdom has gone through really in the last couple of years, especially as more international businesses move in. So, with all these reforms kind of happening, whether it's regulation or, investment or labor requirements, generally for business setup, which have had probably the most significant impact in 2025, also maybe what's due to have the biggest impact as we move forward?
I would say digital transformation of government services, faster licensing and permits, labor reforms, greater flexibility and clarity in employment laws. I would say also the investment law updates, enabling 100% foreign ownership and streamlined dispute resolution, and also the customs and trade facilitation, enhancing ease of imports and exports.
Okay, and I suppose when new regulations and new reforms do come in, there is always going to be some kind of teething problem. So has there been any kind of questions or concerns raised from potential investors when they're exploring Saudi?
Yeah, definitely. With all the noise from outside Saudi, the first question comes to mind is they are asking about the setting up timelines. How long does the setup process take? This is the first question. Second, they ask about, the tax implications, which is very important with the VAT in Saudi Arabia, the corporate tax, the withholding tax, also the general organization of social insurance tax. Obviously, for obvious reason, is very important, and it's one of the main questions we receive from potential investors. Also, how do they navigate the Saudization requirements? This is also, we've been asked a lot about it. Also, they ask what level of government support they can expect when they enter the market, especially for industrial type of licenses. So, yeah, and I've received many asking about what sectors might offer the highest ROI so they can go directly to that business activity or that sector.
Okay, well then if we take what you've just said there and we kind of look forward a little bit, then what would you guys say are probably some of the biggest of areas of opportunity or growth for businesses looking to enter Saudi now?
There's a couple. I would say the green energy and sustainability projects, smart cities and digital infrastructure, and also the tourism and entertainment as the country opens up culturally, healthcare innovation and biotech. And also, I would say the advanced manufacturing and industrial automation.
Are we seeing a lot more investors start to, Amjad, you just mentioned there about kind of, if you align with infrastructure and entertainment, they're obviously trying to make it a lot more of like a lifestyle base where people would want to come and move their entire families. Are we starting to see more of that?
Yes, definitely we are. Like, it started already to change, and it's reflecting in the country and everyone can see that.
Okay, and then maybe just to close out, what is a piece of advice or, something that you would tell a company or who's considering entering the Saudi market? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, basically, first do your homework before entering the Saudi market. It's very important to understand the culture and the regulations in the country. This is my initial one. Also, if you have the chance to partner locally, it will be also an added value for you. It will accelerate your market entry. Also, you need to think long term. It's Vision 2030. It's a decade long transformation. It's not just a quick win, as we say. Also, you have the chance to use the government platforms. It will guide you, depends on your business activity. And lastly, be adaptable. So it's very important in Saudi market to be flexible, as the market is evolving month by month or year by year. So yeah, do your homework and everything will be fine with you.
Thank you, guys. I feel like that provided some nice insight as to where 2025 is and where we're heading with 2026. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.